never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, dish, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Hey Dave, how you going? Deb, how you going? Out to lunch, how you going? Mrs. Out to lunch, how you going? Okay, let's get into this. Oh, David Cameron said Conor McGregor causing a stir by talking the working class truth from the White House yesterday. St. Patrick's Day surprise. Yes, they celebrated St. Pat's Day in the White House with Conor McGregor. Telling some truths. But in the meantime, we are waiting for the JFK files now. Another one. John Rocker said the US Justice Department has blocked the release of the JFK files so national security lawyers can review the documents. This is complete bullshit. Release the files, no redactions. Yeah, they were supposed to be released at 12 p.m. today, and we're still waiting. I'll check on it at the end. We'll do a JFK files search and see if anything's popped up. The architect said there's nothing in the JFK files that will shock anyone. Most people know Lyndon Johnson was in on it, and 90% of the people involved are dead. Nothing changes. The Epstein files involve people still alive and walking free. Start making arrests. Well, I believe that's why they're holding off, because they are making arrests. And I believe that's why they wanted to release the JFK first, because most of them are probably passed away. Okay. Oh, dear God. He's got a plan. I know he's got a plan. Okay. So I'm still behind Trump. Penny said, and a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are turning on him because of Iran, because of Israel. There is a plan, guys. There's more going on than what we are seeing on the surface. And if you're still believing mainstream media, I feel sorry for you. Penny said, bingo, not a shot fired. My father, who took 3 bullets in World War II to keep us all safe from tyranny, would be turning in his grave. I weep with anger. Chris Erickson said Mark Carney was installed as part of the continued hostile takeover of Canada. Simply put, it's a coup. And it is being taken over. Okay, Gunther Eagleman said mic drop from Carolyn Levitt on the French demanding the Statue of Liberty back. Yes, the French they were demanding the Statue of Liberty back. I would remind them it's only because of the USA that the French are not speaking German right now. Oh, dear. Oz Integrity said, hi, Albo and Dutton. Could you please explain to Australians why the Islamic and Semite population get interest-free loans from our major banks on a rent-to-buy basis while the rest of us have to save for decades for a deposit whilst paying rents to foreign investors? I didn't know this. So the Islamic people and the Jewish people get interest-free loans from our major banks on a rent-to-buy basis. So you're telling me that if I was Muslim or Jewish that I could be renting to buy this house? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Okay. I've got more on that in a minute. Chicago One Ray said Dan Bongino's official picture just released meet the deputy director of the new FBI. God, they got a mess to clean up in there. Wow. Roger Stone said Kennedy was also in conflict with the state of Israel. Israel sought to develop nuclear weapons, but Kennedy opposed the idea. After JFK's assassination, President Lyndon Baines Johnson approved Israel's pursuit of the nuclear bomb. Another factor in all of this. Interesting. There's a reason that Israel was not mentioned once. Israel last. Eric Doherty said breaking, a judge just ordered Elon Musk's Doge to all but fully reinstate US aid after they dismantled it. That's right, a judge is now single-handedly running the executive branch, as are all the other judges trying to run the executive branch. This isn't going to work. This has to stop. Judge Chuang was appointed by Obama. Judge's order from Politico. Well, you know what he can do. I'm sure Trump's saying the same thing. You know what he can do. Okay. Insurrection Barbie said, let's get one thing straight. Donald J. Trump isn't George W. Bush, and he damn sure isn't Barack Obama. Trump is a different beast, and if he decides to strike Iran's nuclear capabilities, it's not going to be some endless quagmire. It'll be quick and contained, and especially with the tech that... I don't know if you guys remember, but back, from 2016 to 2020, we were shown some tech that was quite interesting, to say the least. They have more tech than we are aware of. Bush drove headfirst into Iraq with a Bible in one hand and a Halliburton contract in the other. Nation building, democracy for all, and $1 trillion tab later we got ISIS in Middle East that looked like a sandbox after a toddler tantrum. He swung big, missed bigger, and left us stuck in the mud for decades. Obama thought if he apologised a whole lot and delivered planes full of money in the Middle East, poof, problem solved. Spoiler alert, he was way off. He gave Iran a fat stack of cash, a wink, and a pretty please don't build a bomb speech. They took the money, laughed, and kept spinning centrifuges. If Trump greenlights a strike, there will be no boots on the ground, no let's liberate Tehran nonsense, just a swarm of drones, a handful of precision missiles, and a few smoking holes where Iran's uranium dreams used to be. Contained, surgical. He's not dumb enough to let it spiral into a forever war. Iran's been pushing for this wake-up call, proxy wars, Hezbollah handouts and death to America chants while they cook up Armageddon in a bunker. Trump sees the board differently. He's not invading, he's neutering. A one-and-done operation, and if that's the path he chooses to take, it's because it's necessary for our national security, because Iran has actually been threatening the US for quite a while now. It's not like Iraq. Yeah, there's weapons of mass destruction. There's not that. It's not the same thing. Matrix Mysteries said, what if I told you that a single income once provided a home, a car, and a comfortable life for an entire family? One shift in the economy made sure that would never happen again. Here's how they used feminism to double the workforce, slash wages, and turn two incomes into a necessity. Ah, the old days. In the 1960s, a factory worker, teacher, or small business owner could afford a house, raise a family, and retire comfortably, all on one income. Today, two full-time salaries barely cover rent. What changed? Yeah, $23,000 houses. Feminism was pushed as a movement of empowerment, but who really benefited when women flooded the workforce? Corporations gained double the labour supply, wages stagnated as the market became saturated with workers, taxes doubled because the government now had two incomes to tax instead of one. Before the 1970s, businesses had to pay men enough to support a family. But once women entered the workforce, the market became flooded with workers and wages stagnated. Instead of one paycheck being enough, families now needed two just to keep up with rising costs. What was sold as choice was really a necessity, as the middle class became financially dependent on dual incomes. The result? A shift from financial independence to a system where families were stuck in the grind to survive rather than thrive. In the 1970s, a home cost 2 to 3 times the average yearly income. By the 2000s, that price had skyrocketed to 7 to 10 times the average income. Banks, investors and landlords adjusted prices to accommodate the rise of dual-income households. What was once a middle-class goal, home ownership, became an unattainable dream for many. Instead of seeing a rise in wealth, families were locked into an endless cycle of debt, with owning a home no longer a symbol of success but a financial burden. With both parents working, someone had to raise the children. Enter daycare, public schools and media indoctrination. Children were no longer raised by their families but by the institutions and strangers. The system shaped young minds, grooming them to accept a new reality and lose connection with family values. The result? A generation of kids raised by the state with family stability eroded and parental influence fading. To keep people distracted, they were sold an illusion of happiness through consumerism. Credit cards, loans and vacations were marketed as the key to fulfillment. Instead of families building generational wealth, they were pushed into debt, working harder than ever to sustain an image of success. While banks and corporations profited, families found themselves trapped in a perpetual rat race, endlessly chasing a dream they could never fully reach. So who really won? Corporations gained double the workforce without raising wages. Banks created a nation of lifelong debt slaves. The government doubled its tax revenue overnight. Investors and landlords made home ownership out of reach for most. And the average person, overworked, underpaid and robbed of the comfortable life their grandparents had. Thanks for reading. If you enjoyed this thread, please retweet the first tweet and follow for more Matrix Mysteries, it's called. So that was pretty interesting. And pretty good thread, actually, because it's true. It is true. Okay, let's go. Australians versus the agenda. The New South Wales Attorney-General has clashed with opposition leader Mark Speakman in Parliament over a hate speech law repeal because Mark Speakman does not want it repealed now. A repeal seems likely in the Legislative Council, Upper House, but Speakman's commitment to fulfil his side of the deal, Lower House, remains unclear. Well, he actually is all for it. Okay? And listen to this garbage. Australians versus the agenda. New South Wales Premier Chris Minns says that repealing hate speech laws would send a toxic message to the community and admits that we don't have US-style free speech because he wants to preserve multiculturalism. I didn't vote for this, did you? And by the way, do you want to give up free speech for multiculturalism? Hey, anyone in the chat, if you want to give up free speech for multiculturalism, just let me know. Seriously. Oh my goodness. Did you want this? Give up your free speech because multiculturalism. Okay, Senator Babat said, do you agree with him why multiculturalism must be abolished? Let's have a listen to this one.
So today, the Premier of New South Wales, Chris Minns, said that the reason we don't have robust freedom of speech here in Australia and New South Wales is because we are a multicultural society and we need to maintain social cohesion. So he's effectively admitting that multiculturalism and robust freedom of speech are incompatible. My question is, when were Australians ever asked whether they wanted to make a trade-off between the policy of multiculturalism and freedoms like freedom of speech that we have enjoyed for generations in this country? When were we ever asked? We were never asked this. Now, why exactly is multiculturalism incompatible with freedom of speech? Well, again, the basic admission there is that we have imported people into this country who hate the fact that, you know, Australians might be able to say whatever they want about, for example, Islam. They may be able to say whatever they want about whether or not they want large Islamic communities in Australia. We've effectively imported people who hate the traditional liberties that have defined Australia, derived from our British heritage. And these people often usually come from countries that don't have these liberties, that have no intention of having these liberties, and the people don't want these liberties. And so they're coming here, and instead of them becoming like us, we are becoming like them. And again, I ask, when were Australians ever asked about whether they wanted to trade their liberties for a multicultural society? We were never asked. This is a huge betrayal of Australians, and it's an admission that multiculturalism is totally corrosive of the liberties that defined us as a country for so long. We need to abolish multiculturalism before it's too late.
I agree.
So today,
Because look, we've got little enclaves of suburbs of places that you can't go if you're white, okay, in Australia. That should not be allowed, whether you're white or black or whatever colour you are. Alexandra Marshall said Peter Dutton wants a referendum on whether or not foreign criminals should be deported. Why the heck do we need a referendum on that? Because that is how our government's supposed to work, I'm telling you. You're supposed to take it to a referendum. What right do foreign criminals have to this country? I hear you, but it should be taken to referendum. Just do whatever other sane country does and put them on the first flight home. Now, although I agree, I think he's just trying to go through the law way, you know, the way they're supposed to, which is before any of these new laws are brought in, we're supposed to have a referendum on all of them. Not just this one, but all of the ones Albo's put in. All the ones Morrison put in. AKA said record-breaking number of Liberal Americans are applying for UK citizenship. What are your thoughts on this? I feel sorry for the UK. What are they going to do, go over there and destroy that one? Well, wait till they get there. They're going to find it's already destroyed. Retard Finder said international find of the day. Okay, it's Australian. Let's have a listen. These are all Australian politicians during the COVID days.
Playgrounds, basketball courts, skate parks and exercise equipment, despite the fact that it's outdoors, will be closed.
People can walk the dog around the street. Don't talk to your neighbours.
Browsing is not allowed.
So please, when you open your front door, just think for a moment, do you really need to go out?
Obviously, school holidays are upon us, so we've based upon the advice of the Chief Health Officer, allowed for people to go on holidays, but subject to quite stringent rules.
If you are at Adelaide Oval and the ball comes towards you, my advice to you is to duck and just do not touch that ball.
There's a whole bunch of people down the Rye Back Beach last night who thought the best thing to do was to go and watch the sunset. I'm sure it was a beautiful sunset, but that's not in the spirit or in the letter of these rules.
Yeah, they really said that. They really did that. And on what evidence?
Wow. Oh my God. That's Australia for you. Clandestine said if we're thinking in terms of mass awakening and educating the public, the JFK files are probably the place to start. JFK's assassination is considered by many as the turning point when we lost our nation to the deep state. In order to fully understand the deep state and the breadth of corruption, the public will need to know how all this started. If the JFK files reveal what most Americans suspect, that US foreign intelligence agencies were involved in the JFK assassination, that opens the door to explore all the other corruption that followed and establishes a baseline confirmation for the public that a deep state truly exists. If the public know the CIA assassinated Kennedy, They'll be much more willing to believe the CIA were capable of other heinous acts in more recent history, like Ukraine, Epstein, etc. My overall point is that I think Trump and his team have a plan to release all these secrets in a scheduled manner that's easy to follow and comprehend. There is method to the madness. JFK files are Deep State 101. And I happen to agree. Remember when they said the movies will play out? That's what we're watching. Okay, Charlie Kirk said breaking. President Trump announces that 80,000 documents on the assassination of JFK will be released, was supposed to be today, as organised and coordinated by Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. President Trump has asked that the files not be redacted, and that's why you've got now the lawyers for national security or whatever it is called trying to stop it and go through it now. Okay, 17 Absolute Redux 76 said President Trump announces the JFK files will be released tomorrow. 318 just happens that a drop. 956 is a March 18 Delta. Panic mode, enjoy the show. Panic mode, enjoy the show. 18/3/2018. We'll see. It remains to be seen at this point. I'm still behind Trump, but it remains to be seen. MJ Truth Ultra said breaking this morning, President Trump learned that Hunter Biden had 18 Secret Service agents assigned to him while in South Africa. Now Trump just announced both Hunter and Ashley Biden's Secret Service protection, totaling 31 agents, have been pulled. Donald Trump said Hunter Biden has had Secret Service protection for an extended period of time, all paid for by the United States taxpayer. There are as many as 18 people on this detail, which is ridiculous. He's currently vacationing in, of all places, South Africa, where the human rights of people has been strenuously questioned. Because of this, South Africa has been taken off our list of countries receiving economic and financial assistance. Please be advised that effective immediately, Hunter Biden will no longer receive Secret Service protection. Likewise, Ashley Biden, who has 13 agents, will be taken off the list. That's the way to do it. Topher Fields said Australian universities will be in meltdown this morning. Donald J. Trump woke up and chose violence today, according to them anyway. That it'll be violence. It's only words. A questionnaire has been sent to everyone who receives US government funding, including many Australian universities. They will fail the questionnaire spectacularly. I said one too many L's in that. I've cut and pasted the below questions, which I think most, if not all, our universities will fail instantly. Questions 5, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17 and 19. But besides that, they'll pass with flying colours. Does your organisation encourage free speech and encourage open debate and free sharing of information? Yes or no? No, they don't. Can you confirm that your organisation does not work with entities associated with communist, socialist or totalitarian parties or any party that espouses anti-American beliefs? No, they cannot confirm that they do not work with those entities, because I believe they do. Does this project reinforce US sovereignty by limiting reliance on international organisations or global governance structures? Example, WHO and the UN? No, in the way the question's asked. They don't reinforce US sovereignty. I think most of our universities hate Donald Trump. Can you confirm that your organisation has not received any funding from the PRC, including Confucius Institutes, and or partnered with Chinese state or non-state actors, Russia, Cuba or Iran? Yes or no? If your organisation has received funding from these entities, please describe. And how does the organisation track the parent company of potential funding sources to ensure no funding comes? So they're going through like organisations and other companies attached to them. Can you confirm that this is no DEI project or DEI elements of the project? No, they can't confirm that because it's full of DEI. Ending radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing. Can you confirm this is not a climate or environmental justice project or includes such elements? No, they can't confirm that it's not. Does this project support US energy independence? No, that it won't. I'm telling you now, they don't like the US. Does this project take appropriate measures to protect women and defend against gender ideology as defined in below executive order? No, they don't. No, they don't. So they're going to fail spectacularly. Alex Jones said Trump just moved the Declaration of Independence into the Oval Office. 1776 has commenced again. Rod D. Martin said, incredible, Trump just signed an order to eliminate 8 federal agencies. Have you ever seen anything like this? This is massive and unprecedented move. Let me break it down for you. The order is Trump's latest attack on the deep state, the unconstitutional array of unaccountable independent agencies. He's giving agency heads 7 days to justify their existence or face the chopping block. Hint, they can't. The target's 8 agencies: Voice of America's corrupt Marxist parent, USAGM, Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service, Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars, Arctic Research Commission, and more. The question is, why is any of this part of the government? Huge. Last night, VOA nominee Kari Lake told staff to check emails immediately. Multiple employees already placed on administrative leave. The $900 million agency that Trump's been gunning for since term 1 is finally back on the block. Why this matters: USAGM reaches 100-plus countries in 60-plus languages. During the Cold War, it was a voice of hope to millions enslaved by communism. No longer. Now it's irredeemably communist itself. Its official Voice of America VOA is finally shut down. Under Mao, listening to Voice of America was a crime punishable by death. Yet many people still risk their lives to tune in, blah, blah, blah. That was during the year. Now, conservative icon Brent Bozell, nephew of William F. Buckley and founder of the Media Research Center, Conservative Watchdog, is nominated to lead what's left of it. Brent will take a blowtorch to it, and he should. The mastermind behind this, none other than Elon Musk, heading the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, of course. Doge's impact so far: 100,000-plus jobs cut coming. Foreign aid frozen and 83% of programs ended. $115 billion in taxpayer savings and thousands of wasteful and fraudulent contracts cancelled. But that's just the warm-up. Trump wants to identify and eliminate $2 trillion in waste by July the 4th, 2026. That's not a typo. $2 trillion. Don't let the media lie to you. Americans are loving this. Latest Epoch Times polls show overwhelming support for these cuts. 10 out of 10, Trump promised historic government reform and he's delivering. The swamp creatures are running scared. If you enjoyed this content, please like and share, and also sign up for your free subscription to his newsletter, The Rod Martin Report. rodmartin.org. Okay? In case you wanted to know. Do I have to go back again? No, I don't. No. Topher Fields said you're doing something productive in your own home. Do you have a license for that? You'll pay for this. When you take a step back, you quickly realise we've lost our freaking minds. This is insanity. If you're using part of your house as an office or any sort of workspace, and the Victorian government finds out that part of your house is worth over $50,000, which is just one bedroom these days, they're going to try and slug you with land tax on that part of your house as though it's an investment or commercial property. They're cracking down on people doing something productive at home and making them pay. Honestly, the inmates are running the asylum. I've been saying that for years. I got out of Victoria for a reason. I'm all for fighting back. But if you're surrounded by people who support this, sorry, but you can't save them, and they'll take you with them if you try. The tax slug awaiting Victorians running a business from home. The state government lowered the land tax threshold in 2023 from properties worth $300,000 to just $50,000, capturing an extra 380,000 Victorians. Oh, my God. They're going to tax Victorians into oblivion. That is unbelievable. Okay, Donald J. Trump posts on his Truth Social. Get ready for this one. The pardons that Sleepy Joe Biden gave to the Unselect Committee of political thugs and many others are hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect because of the fact that they were done by auto pen. In other words, Joe Biden did not sign them, but more importantly, he did not know anything about them. The necessary pardoning documents were not explained to or approved by Biden. He knew nothing about them, and the people that did may have committed a crime. Therefore, those on the Unselect Committee who destroyed and deleted all evidence obtained during their 2-year witch hunt of me and many other innocent people should fully understand that they are subject to investigation at the highest level. The fact is, they were probably responsible for the documents that were signed on their behalf without the knowledge or consent of the worst president in the history of our country, crooked Joe Biden. So there you go. All of the pardons that Joe signed are void, vacant, and of no further force or effect. So everyone who Joe Biden pardoned can be gone after now. Leading reports said breaking. A French parliament member is demanding the US return the Statue of Liberty, claiming that America has lost its way and no longer stands for what the iconic sculpture represents. What, liberty and freedom? I think that's the main thing that they stand for. Oh, shit. This one's been deleted. Ah, okay. I can't remember what it was either. Oh, I know what this was. This person said, as a Jew, I find Christianity offensive, right? Wow. Okay, I think it was that one anyway. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, and he's in Australia, living in Australia, Christian country. Okay, and he's a Jewish person who finds Christianity offensive. Okay, Baron of Burleigh said very serious. The federal government department is proposing the introduction of Sharia law in Australia. This started back in 2010 when there were only 350,000 Muslims in Australia, and it is aifs.gov.au, legal recognition of Sharia law. This paper examines arguments that have been raised for and against the official recognition. Is this what they're proposing? Yeah, well, look, honestly, if they're still Islamic and Muslim, they should go back to the country they came from. A new direction for a pluralistic no, thank you. Case for official recognition, no. Underground systems lack protection. Legal pluralism works. Case against official recognition, yeah, they're the ones I want to read. But not today. Not today, Junior. Oops, I sound a bit Scottish then. Mario Norfall said Macron, Ukraine, not Russia, will decide on NATO peacekeepers. Macron declared that Russia has no say in whether NATO troops enter Ukraine, stating that the decision lies solely with Kiev. Britain and France are considering deploying thousands of peacekeepers as part of a ceasefire plan, while Russia outright rejects any NATO forces in Ukraine. Macron, Starmer and other allies are rushing to bolster Ukraine as Trump rushes for a peace deal with Putin. Meanwhile, Russia and Ukraine continue airstrikes, casting doubt on any ceasefire. The source was Reuters. Take it with a grain of salt, guys. By the way, everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything is theory until proven fact, okay? That's just for YouTube. Okay, we're nearly there. Okay. The Yorkshire lass said, anyone else feel like we are leaving the old earth behind quickly now? I'm talking about the pre-COVID years, that we will never go back to the way it was. The world we once knew is fading away, and we are now shifting over to the golden age of new earth. Their birth pains while we're shifting over there, mind you. Quite emotional, really, on where we're all headed. It's going to be glorious. Are you excited for the future? Yes, but I'm stuck in the present at the moment, unfortunately. Oh dear. Lozzie B said the Western Australian elections are invalid. Australia demands a recount. What's this? Calls for investigation into the WA election as pressure mounts on electoral commissioner. Yes, because no one thinks that Labor won that. Sorry. No, not really. Melinda Richards say, hey, Aussies, Brits, Canadians, Kiwis, the Americans decided to get their country back. Now for us. Let's go. Insurrection Barbie said if people think it's an accident that President Trump pulled certain people's security clearance before doing this, then they don't realise how prepared President Trump is for his second term. Okay, Newt said for anyone watching 60 Minutes regarding the CFMEU, oh, this is bad. It's a union here in Australia, okay? We're going to talk about the European Union too, but this is bad. For anyone watching the 60 Minutes regarding the CFMEU underworld, when PM Albanese first came to office to ensure the unions controlled the building industry, he removed the Building Commission. Fact. He did. Okay, you ready for it? Those easily upset, please just be careful. In the next couple of posts I've got. Matthew Kamanzuli said the CFMEU, part of the Labor Party, is a complete disgrace, corrupt, thuggish, criminal. It makes building an Australia impossible. It must be disbanded and its ashes scattered into the wind. Oh, that was a 60 Minutes thing. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. I'll let you know when it's coming, okay? Tracy said, how can Labor clean up the CFMEU when Albo and Jacinta Allen are in their pockets? And you should see what they've been caught doing. Stephen said, how mafia works. This is the CFMEU we're talking about. Government announces $100 billion project. Contracts only go to CFMEU-approved firms. Those firms donate billions to CFMEU to be on their list. CFMEU donates to Labor to protect the extortion racket. Do you get it? Yep, they're corrupt as fuck. Okay, John Green said, I'm starting to think Australia needs US-style RICO laws to deal with criminal organisations like the Labor Party. Have I got it in here, actually? Yes, I do. There it is. Okay, it's a couple down. Crystal Mitchell said, Labor asking Victoria Police to pull resources from already stressed police force that can't keep police stations open to investigate the current CFMEU as an insult to Victorians that can't get cops to come to machete-wielding bandits terrorising them in their homes. Royal Commission where we get rid of Labor is required. Okay, this one is actually it. It's in here twice. Okay, I'm just going to skip past that one till I get to the other one down here. Stephen said Jacinta was the infrastructure minister for a decade and married to an ex-CFMEU union oligarch. She authorised billions of overpriced projects. Can you smell the stench of the Labor corruption? Yes, they're all in bed together. Okay, now listen to this. Lozzie B, CFMEU Health and Safety Representative beats female worker. This is only one of many stories Australian Labor has tried to keep quiet. In 2019 to 2024, the CFMEU gave over $11.5 million in financial and election support to help make Anthony Albanese Prime Minister. CFMEU equals Labor. Now, I'm not going to show anything here, okay? You can pretty much see. I'm not going to actually put the volume on because there's a lady in there. She's screaming pretty much. Okay, you can't see anything, but you can see what he's doing. These are the kind of thugs that run our unions in Australia. What, did they go and recruit all the bikies or what? Like, seriously? Rob Halliday said, whatever your opinion of Conor McGregor, one thing is undeniable. During his White House visit on St. Pat's Day, his high-profile status is bringing much-needed attention to the travesty unfolding in Ireland. The government has, with deliberate malice, transformed one of Europe's most treasured jewels, Ireland, into a third-world dumping ground. The Irish government has perpetrated acts so grievous, so unconscionable that they transcend the very bounds of treason itself. Our own leaders, sworn to protect this nation, now conspire to obliterate the rich and storied culture that has endured for millennia. If patriots do not rise to defy this tyranny, if they do not stand as our forefathers once did, then Ireland as we knew it shall be but a whisper in the annals of history, erased, forgotten and betrayed. We can't stand by and let weak men like Simon Harris and Michael Martin tear down what so many brave patriots fought and died for. That goes for all our countries, guys. Now, Gunther Eagleman said, breaking the JFK files. Well, yep, we know. Can't wait for the Epstein files. Yep. And that's Trump saying it himself. Hang on, I'll play it.
We are tomorrow announcing and giving all of the Kennedy files. So people have been waiting for decades for this, and I've instructed my people that are responsible, lots of different people, put together by Tulsi Gabbard, and that's going to be released tomorrow. We are tomorrow.
Okay, he said tomorrow, which is today, because that was yesterday. Okay, Clandestine said Trump and his team heard your backlash about the Epstein files and Bondi, so they responded. Trump told you Bondi's done a phenomenal job. Elon told you that Bondi and Cash are fighting the entrenched bureaucracy and we need to give them time. Cash told you that there will be no cover-ups, no missing documents and no stone left unturned. Bongino told you Cash and Bondi have got it and we need to let it play out. Trump and his team are trying to assure the public the situation is under control. Trump heard your concerns and he responded by telling you that everything is on schedule. You heard it directly from the boss's mouth. You can listen to the loud and irrational social media influencers overreacting and farming your outrage for clicks, or you can listen to Trump, Elon, Cash and Bongino. The choice is yours. By the way, a lot of people are doing the loud and irrational social media outrage, overreacting and farming to get your clicks, and it's working apparently. Not yours, but people's clicks, you know. And people I didn't think. Yeah, interesting to watch. Ian Miles Chong said the European Union is a welfare state that treats the US like its personal pay pig. Without American largesse, they would have to field and pay for their own militaries and not waste all their money on migrants and social programs. Ian Miles Chong said the European Union is not a serious organisation when you've got a lady here knitting. Okay, in a meeting, knitting. Why are you even there, love? Go home to your family. Protect children and animals, said the European Union just lied to justify killing innocent Christians. Is this why they import the people who are raping and grooming children who are killing their own people? This needs to have an international court investigate. European External Action Services said the European Union strongly condemns the recent attacks reportedly by pro-Assad elements on interim government forces in the coastal areas of Syria and all violence against civilians. So, they are blaming pro-Assad elements for their... Okay, here we go. Readers add context. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights reported that 745 Alawite civilians were executed by pro-government fighters in Syria's coastal regions and Latakia Mountains, with whom homes looted. Sources say they were killed in executions carried out by pro-government fighters. Okay? Not pro-Assad, pro-government. That's how they do it. Christine Anderson said a new corruption scandal is brewing at the Euro Parliament EN. Around 100 police officers carried out 21 house searches in Belgium and Portugal. Several suspects were temporarily arrested and accused of active bribery and forgery. It's getting interesting. Josh Dunlap said authorities in Belgium and Portugal have started a corruption and money laundering probe targeting the EU Parliament. Raids across 21 locations have led to multiple arrests, with a suspected link to Huawei under investigation. Interesting. Gunther Eagleman said breaking, Trump tariffed the European Union. Fuck around, find out. That was on February 1st. Okay, I know we're in March, but something I may have missed. Adrian said, I call for open resistance against the European Union, and it is and remains a crime organisation. The European Union is a dictatorship without our own country and without our constitution, and with an army of highly paid idiots, those who act as prohibition dictators. Do you want a revolution? Then just keep on going. I advise every country to reconsider its membership, and Switzerland will never have become a member state. P.S. Stick the submission contract up your ass, because apparently they're offering a contract for Switzerland. Okay, Swiss hodler said the European Union is terrified of losing control. They claim President Trump's support for crypto, i.e. Bitcoin, threatens their monetary sovereignty and financial stability. Translation, people might choose freedom over their broken monetary system. Fiat Archive, just in, European Union claims President Trump's support for crypto could harm Europe's monetary sovereignty and financial stability. Yeah, right. Okay, George said, watch President Trump just exposed how the European Union is secretly destroying Europe. Trump wanted to do a massive expansion of his Doonbeg property, which would have created many jobs. He got approvals from Ireland in mere months, but was told it would take years to get approvals from the EU. That's how they do it. They wrap your hands up. I said, why do I have to get the European Union to expand a hotel that's in Ireland? They said, well, that's the way it is. I said, well, shouldn't that go fast? They said, no, it'll take at least 7 years. Why do Europeans put up with it? Senator Babbitt said the European Union should be dismantled. They're nothing but unaccountable globalists controlling and manipulating a once free nation states. Vicegrad, or whatever it's called, said the man who long served as EU's man censor, Thierry Breton, calls for X to be banned in Europe if Elon Musk doesn't start censoring things that European elites dislike. All in order to protect our democracy. Yeah, good luck with that, mate. Senator Babet said the European Union is a system of control used to force once free and independent countries to comply and obey the globalist class. The nation state must reign supreme once more. And Julian Assange said Carney wants European Union membership and to cede Canada's sovereignty to a bunch of unelected Europeans. Personally, I would rather join the US. Yep, some people would. I can't read this one. Al After said, the European Union will jail you for edgy memes, but invite a jihadist who is engaging in ethnic cleansing to a formal event. Disclosed TV said just in, European Commission says Syria's interim president, al-Sharaa, invited to Brussels for a donor conference on March 17th. They're really showing themselves up, aren't they? These are the people who killed all those Christians in Syria, right? And they're inviting them to Brussels for a donor conference. Okay. Ada Luch said the European Union is allocating €4.4 billion of taxpayer money to South Africa to support its energy transition. In other words, a continent where approximately 90% of our population is white is sending billions to a country where white people are being slaughtered simply because of being white. Moreover, this decision was made without a direct democratic mandate. Ursula von der Leyen was not elected by the people, yet continues to make far-reaching decisions on their behalf, deeply concerning. Alexandra Marshall said that the European Union screw up Europe on purpose. I feel like it was intentional. And these were all back in February, right? Early February. Breaking Trump to impose tariffs on the European Union. Okay, and this one, March 11th. These two warmonger retards, Kaja Kallas and Roberta Metsola, are the two women leading the European Union. They both come from the two smallest countries of the Union. Now let's do some math. Population of Estonia, 1,324,820 people. Estonian voters, 980,014. Estonian voters in the 2024 European elections, 368,925. Votes for the Estonian Reform Party, led by Kallas, 66,014. And the population of Malta, 542,051. Maltese voters, 370,184. Maltese voters in the 2024 European elections, 270,142. Votes for the Nationalist Party of Metsola, 109,351. Total votes for the parties of Colas and Metsola, 66,014 plus 109,351 is 175,365. These two psychopathic warmongers received a total of 175,365 votes and have the two most important positions in the European Commission after Ursula von der Leyen. And they want you to believe that the EU is a democracy. Yeah, there's something wrong with these. They even look nearly like sisters. What's going on here? Young globalist leaders. Okay, BRICS News said just in, Chinese President Xi Jinping declines European Union's invitation to celebrate 50 years of China-EU relations. Ooh, interesting. And this one that I'm going to have to... No, I've done that one, haven't I? Yes, I have. That was... Okay, there you go. So the EU's full of tyrants, as George just said. Ursula's a witch. Oh, dear. Everything's going insane right now. Hit the like button if you can, please, guys. Thank you very much. It all helps me out. And sub if you haven't subbed. Okay, let's go through. Out to Lunch said they want the copper from the Statue of Liberty. Out to Lunch said Dan Bongino took the jab. Deb said if they are now becoming awake. D-Lee, how you going, D-Lee? Mrs. Out to Lunch said, okay, going to go. Wanted to say hello to everyone and like, much love to all. God love you. Deb said, get mother out of the house to break the family up, yes, and get the state to raise the children in the way they see fit, because that's what they do. They want to raise your children for you so they can make little communists out of all of our children and grandchildren. D-Lee said, take care, Donna. Deb said, 16% interest when I was buying this marital home. Deb said, I best we can get who? Guess who? Rockefeller. Deb said, we've been getting along until now. This is going to be a hot election. Yes, definitely. Paranormal Oz, how you going? Hey, everyone. Hey, Hev. Hope you're all well. Still not feeling well, but I'm here because there was so much news I had to post on. And by the way, let's have a look. Before I go, I said I would do it. Okay. There seems to be some stuff that has been, something's been released. Okay, hang on. I'm going to have to go through that, guys. Oh, yeah, people are being smart asses. To whom it may concern, I have information that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton. Everyone waiting. Well, something's been released, apparently. Okay, so I'm going to go and look that up because it looks like a lot of information, mate. Okay. Oh, I'm in there. Okay. So there we go. Something has been released. Okay. Deb said their country would not put up with the same shit. No Muslim country or Israel would handle being taken over by immigrants coming in. They wouldn't let it happen, mate. J1, how you going? D-Lee said 5 years ago, wow, I still can't believe the world went along with this C-19. Yeah, exactly. And George, how you going? Okay, Starchild, how you going? We will never know who killed JFK, in my opinion. I think we will find out. But, you know, everyone has their own opinion, so, you know, you're perfectly reasonable. Real Housewives, how you going? We love Doge. Yes, definitely. I wish we had one here. We need one. Yeah, J1, the thieving bastards. George said, I bet most Americans are glad to see the back of Biden. And Deb said, what's he doing here? Pauline has been trying to tell people and nobody believed her. George said, the world is run by crooks. J1 said, baby eating crooks. Yeah. George said, a Liberal and Labor are nasty. They are. Release the Epstein files. I agree. I want them all. Deb said, thank you for giving Hevs a thumbs up wherever you can. George said, I always give Hev a thumbs up, Deb. Thank you, guys. I do appreciate it very much. I really do. J1 said the judicial system is next after the CIA and FBI. Judges are on notice. Yes, they are. Dealey said, yep, it's the first thing I do. Stu, how you going, Stu? Good to see ya. George said the EU needs to be abolished. It does, and you need your countries back. That's what you need, your countries back. J1 said new Prime Minister trying to join Canada with the EU. I know. Hey, Cack Rangel, how you going? Good to see ya. J1 said rather be the 51st state. Deb said, thank you, Hevites, for your amazing support for our Hev. Oh, God love you. George said, Canada's not part of Europe. No, it's not. It's nowhere near it. What the hell? Keck said, died on some charbroiled nuns, dead keys, song bleed for me. Yeah, George said, Ursula's a witch. The EU's full of tyrants. Keck said, new Chan again, lol. Dealey said, yes, Bongino did take the jab. That's when I stopped following him. Yeah, I don't really follow him, but we'll see what happens. Keck said all this is like having a date with a hot girl like Chef on South Park sang, and you wait and you wait and you wait some more. Yeah, but I believe they've got a plan, and I believe that it's all like playing out how it should. Because you've got to think of the normies who aren't yet awake, who are still fast asleep, right? They got to be woken up. What better way would to be to bring the JFK files out first? We need the MLK files. We need the Epstein files. We need it all. Hey, Maria, how you going? God love ya. Okay, guys. Well, with that, I'm going to leave it there for today because I am still sick, but I just really wanted to come on and at least get that out the way. So I will see you hopefully tomorrow unless things go sideways. I don't seem to be getting the full-on flu because I've taken some vitamin C. So we'll see how we go. And with that, guys, I will say ta-ta for now. Hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.